Good evening, everyone. As stated, select members of the leadership team and I will present an overview of the implementation plan required by the board to inform its decision-making about the future-ready facilities implementation plan. This plan directly answers the 8 specific questions outlined by the board, each designed to ensure transparency, accountability, and a shared understanding of how we move from planning to action. Tonight's presentation provides a high-level overview. It does not capture every detail contained in the full 140-page report, but it does highlight the essential components that respond to the board's requests and show how the district will move forward in a deliberate, student-centered way. The implementation plan is more than a document. It is a roadmap for how we move forward together as a district, as a community, and most importantly, for our students. It outlines the key steps necessary for a smooth and well-supported transition. This evening, we will review updated staffing projections that align with future school configurations and minimize disruption for both educators and students. The plan's financial model outlines renovation costs, projected savings, and long-term efficiencies to strengthen Pittsburgh Public Schools' financial sustainability. Attendance zones and feeder patterns were developed using data-driven principles of walkability, balance, and transparency, ensuring all students can travel safely and efficiently to school. And at the heart of the work is the student experience. By consolidating and reinvesting, we can provide more of our students, regardless of neighborhood, with consistent access to high-quality instruction, the arts, athletics, STEM, and advanced coursework. These opportunities should never depend on a student's zip code. And because equity must be more than a buzzword, this plan places a special focus on students who have faced the greatest systemic barriers: our African American students, our English language learners, our students with disabilities, and those experiencing economic hardship. Targeted supports such as academic interventions, counseling, and transition planning will ensure these students are not left behind, but lifted up. Equally important, this plan represents the voices of our community. Over the 2 years, we've listened and learned through town halls, surveys, community conversations, and 9 formal public hearings. Thousands of families, students, and staff have shaped this vision, and our commitment to transparent, ongoing communication will continue at every step of implementation. The Future Ready Facilities Implementation Plan is not just about buildings. It's about belief. Belief in what our schools can be, belief in what our students deserve, and belief in what we can achieve together. This is a once-in-a-generation opportunity to realign our resources with our mission to ensure that every child in Pittsburgh attends a school that inspires learning, reflects dignity, and prepares them for a bright future. Together, with unity, transparency, and urgency, we can make that future real for every Pittsburgh student. This plan is anchored in our 4 values: equity, excellence, efficiency, and access. These values form the foundation of our implementation strategy and are tightly aligned to our district's theory of action, culture, systems, and instruction, which define how we achieve lasting, meaningful outcomes for our students. Equity is the center of this plan, the lens through which decisions are made. For too long, student experiences and outcomes in Pittsburgh have been shaped by uneven access to resources, programs, and facilities. This plan intentionally closes that gap. It does so by strategically reallocating resources, consolidating underutilized buildings, and investing in learning environments that serve all students well. Excellence means that every child in every school deserves access to high-quality instruction and enriching educational experiences that prepare them for success in college, career, and life. And efficiency reminds us that operating and maintaining half-empty or deteriorating buildings is neither financially sustainable or educationally justifiable. This plan promotes fiscal responsibility by optimizing our footprint, reducing redundancy, and ensuring that every dollar spent connects directly to student benefit. Through long-term cost avoidance and smarter capital planning, we can reinvest in what truly matters: people, programs, and learning. And finally, access, because true equity demands access. Access to advanced coursework, access to arts and athletics, access to mental health supports, extracurricular enrichment, and culturally affirming instruction. Too often, access has been determined by geography or enrollment patterns. And for the Future Ready Facilities Plan, it seeks to change that by providing schools that serve as gateways to opportunity. Our theory of action reminds us that student outcomes do not change until adult behaviors change, and that belief also drives our work. Through stronger culture, smarter systems, and high-quality instruction, we will not only change how our schools operate, but how our students experience learning each and every day. In response to the board's resolution requiring the development of a facilities utilization plan, the district launched a deliberate and transparent process to align our facilities, enrollment, and instructional priorities. The proposed plan was unveiled in March 2024, followed by a portfolio recommendation informed by deep community engagement, data analysis, and scenario modeling with our partners at Education Resource Strategies. Following the release of the final ERS proposal, the first feasibility study provided a baseline review of ERS's recommendations, while the second feasibility report, with updated analysis and administrative recommendations, formally launched the Future Ready Facilities Plan, initiating a focused, data-driven effort to improve student experiences and modernize our schools. A public comment period held throughout July and August generated thoughtful input from families, educators, and community members across the city. In August, the board approved a resolution requiring the development of an implementation plan outlining 8 specific deliverables to be completed before a final vote, which we will review this evening. Should the board vote to adopt a final plan later this year, the magnet application period for the 26-27 school year will open this winter, marking the beginning of a new chapter in Pittsburgh Public Schools' journey to become truly future ready. I will now provide an overview of the thoughtful, phased timeline that ensures this work moves forward with the same clarity, care, and coordination that have defined the process to date. Each phase is designed to balance urgency with stability, ensuring that change happens with our community, not to it, as we continue building a stronger, more equitable system for every Pittsburgh student. Our first and current phase, Year 0, which began in July, focuses on creating clarity, confidence, and a connection before any changes take place. This is where we finalize the school phasing decisions approved by the board and begin implementing communication tools to help families navigate what's ahead, like our updated boundary maps and the Find My School tool, where any family anywhere can now pull up their address to get their child's proposed feeder pattern K through 12. And while some early wins are visible, like facility upgrades or expanded partnerships, many of the most important ones happen behind the scenes. These efforts are about creating the conditions for a successful transition and long-term implementation. We are or have conducted detailed building walkthroughs to confirm that each facility can accommodate new enrollment patterns, classroom configurations, and specialized instructional spaces. We have identified locations for specialized classrooms, including early childhood, special education, and career and technical education programs to ensure continuity of services for all students. We have developed a district-wide moving handbook to standardize packing, labeling, and inventory procedures, ensuring that transitions are organized, efficient, and minimally disruptive. We are currently hosting human resources roadshows to meet directly with staff to hear the questions and the concerns to support retention, recruitment, and reassignment with transparency and care. And we are coordinating early procurement and operational planning to align resources, transportation, and staffing ahead of key milestones. Most importantly, this phase centers on listening. Through community conversations and school-based planning sessions, we are making sure that families and staff feel informed, supported, and engaged in shaping the path forward. Together, these actions represent our early wins, not just because they show progress, but because they lay the groundwork for a smooth, well-coordinated transition for students, families, and staff. They ensure that when the first major changes take place, our schools are ready, physically, operationally, and culturally, to deliver on the promise of being future-ready. As we move into the launch phase with the start of the 26-27 school year, our focus is on people and culture. We often say that culture eats strategy for breakfast. That couldn't be truer here. Before we can successfully implement new structures or instructional models, we must first build the right culture within each school community. Some may wonder why it is recommended that we move forward with school transitions now rather than waiting until the new delivery model is ready to launch. The answer is that we are intentionally sequencing change to ensure and establish stability first. This transition will bring together students and staff who have previously not worked side by side, and we're being intentional about how we support those new relationships, creating the time, space, and structure needed for teams to build shared identity, trust, and collaboration. We also recognize the pressure that educators are under. That is why we're deliberately holding the introduction of our new instructional delivery model until year 2. We do not want to add new complexities like revised schedules or curriculum shifts while teams are still learning to operate as one. Instead, year 1 will focus on establishing strong culture, clear systems, and confident leadership at every level. The same intentionality applies to the transition of the Gifted Center, which will also occur in year 2. This ensures that all students and staff can participate within a single, cohesive model built on shared values and expectations rather than rushed change. By anchoring this phase in structure, stability, and belonging, we set the foundation for long-term success. And the systems we build this year will determine how well we sustain our vision for years to come. The final phase is about executing with excellence and sustaining the changes we have built together. This includes completing the phased programs and school closures, opening new campuses, and rolling out specialized programming that aligns with our guiding principles of equity, excellence, efficiency, and access. We will also continue investing in capital improvements and facility upgrades to ensure school buildings reflect our commitment to modern, engaging, and safe learning environments. Ultimately, this work strengthens the entire student experience, from elementary through high school, by creating clear, connected pathways and ensuring consistent program quality across our system. This is how we build a future-ready Pittsburgh Public Schools, one that delivers on the promise of opportunity for every student in every neighborhood.